Hello, dear students. Very good morning. Welcome to another lecture. We are, in fact, reading Deep Water. It's written by William Douglas. This may be the final lecture recording this topic. As for the contents or the concerned, after this, we will start the textual questions and some other grammar exercises which are given at the back of the lesson. In the previous lecture, we discussed that the writer has used or utilized the services of an instructor and who imparted everything to the writer regarding the art of swimming, and he's contented, he's satisfied that he has almost done his job and he has finished his job. But what the writer thinks, let's learn. But I was not finished. According to the writer, he has not learned every skill of the swimming. He has not. In fact, he has not a full command over the art of swimming. यानी राइटर के इंस्ट्रक्टर के मुताबिक उसने अपना काम ख़त्म कर दिया है. उसके पास जो भी स्किल्स थे, जो भी महारत थी, वो इसने राइटर को सिखा दी हैं. लेकिन राइटर का क्या कहना है? राइटर कहता है कि अगरचे उसने अपना काम ख़त्म किया था, लेकिन मेरे नज़दीक अभी सब कुछ ख़त्म नहीं हुआ था. आई स्टिल वंडर्ड इफ़ आई वुड बी terror stricken when I was alone in the pool. I was surprised. I was in dilemma. I was quite astonished that if I would be all alone in the middle of the pool, the terror will strike me. I would be overpowered by the fear of water, the terror, and it will be very difficult for me or the difficult for the writer to come out of this. So he says, I tried. I swam the length up and down. And he says that he tried. He made an effort. उसने मेहनत की, उसने कोशिश की. Swam the length up and down. यानी वो ऊपर से नीचे तक, नीचे से ऊपर तक उसने पाँवों में तैरना शुरू कर दिया. Teeny vestiges of the old terror would return. Teeny vestiges of the old terror. Terror means the reminders of the terror. Though he has somehow overpowered, he has somehow brushed aside the terror, but something, the remaining part of the terror was still there, and it would harass the writer while he was swimming all alone in the swimming pool. But now I could frown and say to that terror, trying to scare me. Well, here is to you. Look, and I would go for another length of the pool. Here it is the writer impersonating the terror. Though terror is an abstract noun, but shade of impersonation is quite apparent here. यानी इसको पर्सोनिफाई किया जा रहा है यहाँ, और राइटर इसको जैसे एक बंदे को, एक शख्स को मुखातिब कोई करता है, इसी तरह से मुखातिब करता है टेरर को. वो टेरर से कहता है, आप क्या मुझे डराना चाहते हैं? ट्राइंग टू स्केयर मी, ट्राइंग to dominate me, trying to overpower me. Well, here is to you. Look, but जरा आप देखो. And off I would go for another length of the pool. I have crossed the pool from here and there. Now I will take another length. I will go by swimming across the pool, and you would not harm me. You means the terror. You means the terror or the uh, fright. He would not harm me. This went on until July, but I was still not satisfied. I was not sure that all terror had left, but this process went on till the month of July. But the writer was not still satisfied. Writer अभी भी जुलाई के मंथ तक भी मुतमईन नहीं था कि शायद क्या इसने अब इस खौफ पर काबू पा लिया है या नहीं, ये इस पे मुतमईन नहीं था. सो आई वेंट टू द लेक वेंटवर्थ इन द हैम्पशायर, dived off the dock at the Triggs Island, and swam 2 miles across the lake to Stamp Act Island. Now, what he did, he continues his exercise, he continues his efforts to know everything about the swimming, and he goes to वेंटवर्थ इन न्यू हैम्पशायर. वो वेंटवर्थ के मुकाम पर वेंटवर्थ गया न्यू हैम्पशायर के मुकाम पर. डाइव्ड ऑफ द डॉक, एंड डॉक इज़ द प्लेस वेयर द शिप्स आर लोडेड एंड अनलोडेड. दिया वो इसी डॉक के मुकाम पर वो उसने कूदा, चाहे वो समंदर का मुकाम था या कोई फोर्ट था दरिया का, तो वहाँ उसने ट्रिग्स आइलैंड के पास उसने छलांग लगाई. एंड स्वैम 2 miles अक्रॉस द लेक टू स्टैम्प एक्ट आइलैंड, एंड ही स्वैम अक्रॉस 2 miles. 2 miles is not a joke. He swam 2 miles continuously to Stamp Act Island. वहाँ पर एक आइलैंड था स्टैम्प एक्ट के नाम पर, वहाँ तक वो तैरता गया. आई स्वैम द क्राउल, ब्रेस्ट स्ट्रोक, साइड स्ट्रोक एंड बैक स्ट्रोक. These are some methods which the swimmers use. Means the crawl, the breast stroke, side stroke, and the back stroke. All were learned by the poet, and he was utilizing these all skills while he was swimming in a pool of water, or in a river, or any in a water body. Only once did the writer return. Only once did the terror return. कभी कभी ये खौफ जो था राइटर के पास फिर आता था, which was harassing him and which was means discouraging him when he was engaged in the job of swimming. When I was in the middle of the lake, I put my face under and saw nothing but the bottomless water. He says, he mentions what he experiences when he was in the middle of the lake. He put his face under the water, and he saw nothing. Bottomless water means depths of the water, deep water. The old sensation returned in the miniature. The old sensation means again the terror. The terror returned again in a miniature, but in little by little. It was in the less quantity. The quantum was very little. I laughed and said, "Well, Mr. Terror, what do you think you can do to me?" I fled and swam on. Here, he had impersonated the terror again. He addresses him. Do you try to scare me? Do you try to fear me? No, I would not allow you to dominate. I would not allow you to overpower myself. I fled. मैं वहाँ से भाग गया and swam on, और आगे चलता गया. Yet I had a residual doubt. But there were the remainder of the doubts. Some suspicions of the terror were there, which he felt or which he perceived. At my first opportunity, I hurried west, went up to the Titan to the Conrad Meadows, up the Conrad Creek Tile to the Med Glacier. And these are the names which I mentioned, which I read out. These are the places where the writer visited, he swam across and camped in the high meadow by the side of the warm lake. Warm lake, about which we have already read, it is not actually the water of it is not actually the warm, but it is all its surface is covered, always covered with the snow. When the snow gets melted, though being the shallow lake, its water gets warmer. That's why it's called the warmer lake. And uh, it is near the Goat Woods in USA. The next morning, I stripped, divided into the lake, and swam across to the other shore and packed just the dog copron used to do. And what he नेक्स्ट टाइम डिड, दूसरी मर्तबा उसने क्या किया, वो लेक के बीचों बीच में से तैरता चला गया. मीन्स ही डिवाइडेड द लेक इनटू टू पार्ट्स. चलता गया और वहाँ से फिर वापस आता गया. एंड जस्ट लाइक द डग कॉपरन. एंड डग कॉपरन इज यूज्ड. ही वाज द फ्रेंड ऑफ द राइटर and he was a doctor and he was a well skilled man. I shouted. I shouted. और मैंने वहाँ चिल्लाया with joy, not out of fear. This time not out of fear, but out of joy. This was the cry of victory rather, and Gilbert Peak returned the echo. I had conquered my fear of water because it was the cry of joy. It was the cry of victory. It was the cry of victory over the fear. And his cry was returned by the Gilbert Peak. Gilbert Peak is another is a peak. It is height. It is said it is 8,184 meters. Rather, it is 8,184 feet high, and it is equal to 494 meters. It's located near the Goat Rocks of Washington. I had conquered my fear of water. And what this mean? What this cry mean? This cry of the writer announces that he is now the king. He has now conquered the all fears of water. अब उसने ये फातिहाना जो उसने वो आवाज़ लगा दी, उस आवाज़ को रिटर्न कर दिया गिलबर्ट पीक ने, जो एक ऊंची चोटी है वहाँ, जिसकी ऊंचाई 8,184 फीट तक है, जो 2,494 मीटर तक बनती है. और इसने एक उस क्राई के साथ उसने एक इसमें ऐलान था, उसमें ये बिल्कुल एक अनाउंसमेंट थी. आई हैड कनकर्ड माई फियर ऑफ वाटर. मैंने इस जो डर था, जो खौफ था पानी का, मैंने इस पर फतह पा ली है. द एक्सपीरियंस हैड अ डीप मीनिंग फॉर मी, as only those who have known stock terror and conquered it can appreciate. And what about this experience? What about this cry? What about this diverting of the lake into two parts by swimming? This was a great experience for the writer. Why? But everybody can't perceive its meaning. Everybody can't know its value, but only those who are known stork terror stricken and have conquered it can appreciate it, can perceive it. यानी वो लोग जो खौफ में दबे हुए हैं, जब वो खौफ पर फतह पाते हैं, बाहर आते हैं, वही इस राइटर की उस खुशी को महसूस कर सकते हैं. In death there is peace. There is terror only in the fear of death. When we mention death, death is also the announcement of peace. There is terror only in the fear of death. When you fear death, then you will face the fear. It means that when you of fearless to that, the fear will never harm you. As Roosevelt knew when he said, Roosevelt ने इसी के बारे में कहा है, all we have to fear is fear itself. जब हम खौफ खाते हैं, इसका मतलब है बजाते खौफ को महसूस करना बजाते खुद एक खौफ होता है. Because I had experiences both the sensation of dying and the terror that fear of it can produce. Because I have experienced both the sensation of dying, the arrival of death, and the terror of it. Both I have experienced. It can produce the will to live somehow grew in intensity. It means that when you fear death, it means that you want to live and you want to grow in intensity. At last, I felt released. Finally, the writer gets a sigh of relief. He's relieved now. He's quite satisfied. He's peaceful, free to walk the trails and climb the peaks and brush aside the fear. Now, this, when he overcame the fear of water, he overcame every kind of fear. Now he was free to walk the trails. Trails means to follow the footsteps of somebody, especially when somebody walking in the forest or any dense area or area which is less populated, and climb the peaks and brush aside the fear. Now I used to climb the peaks, I used to climb the mountains, and I was not overpowered by the fear. I was always ignoring the fear, means the writer became fearless. Thank you very much. This is enough for today. Have a nice day.